The economic war just got personal. For a brief, wild period this year, the United States and China were in a full-blown tariff spiral. The US slapped duties on Chinese goods that peaked at an eye-watering 127%, while China fired back. And while a temporary truce has dialed back the crazy, the damage is done. The framework for chaos is set, and the US is now living with the highest average tariffs since the 1930s. In the next few minutes, you're going to find out exactly how this economic showdown is quietly engineered to hit your wallet, making your groceries, your gadgets, and even your car more expensive than you ever thought possible. This isn't some far-off headline you can just scroll past. This is a direct hit to your bank account. Those peak numbers were part of a tariff battle that spiraled out of control in early 2025. While a tense 90-day truce was reached in May and recently extended, it only paused the bleeding. The average US tariff on Chinese goods now effectively stands at a punishing rate of around 55%, depending on how you calculate the overlapping duties. So, what does this actually mean for you? It means the price of everything is being secretly recalculated. This video is your guide to understanding the real danger to your finances. We'll break down what a tariff really is, in simple terms. Then, we'll walk through the 3 key parts of your life that are already getting more expensive: your grocery bill, your electronics, and your car. And you'll want to stick around for the end, because I'm going to share the one strategic move China is making that goes beyond just prices, a move that could reshape global power for the next generation. Before we get into the damage, let's clear one thing up. What exactly is a tariff? Forget the complicated economic jargon. The simplest way to think about a tariff is as a tax. But it's not a normal sales tax you see on your receipt. It's a tax the government charges an American company for importing a product. So, when the US government puts a 55% tariff on a Chinese-made product, China doesn't pay that tax. The American company that wants to sell it to you, let's say it's Target, Walmart, or your local auto parts store, is the one that has to pay that 55% tax to the US government. Now, what do you think that company does after getting hit with a massive, unexpected tax? They don't just eat that cost out of the goodness of their hearts. They pass it directly on to you, the consumer, by jacking up the price. So a tariff is basically a hidden tax on you. It's charged before the product even hits the shelf, so you pay the price without ever seeing the tax listed. Research consistently shows it's the US companies and consumers who bear the burden, not foreign countries. This whole mess didn't happen overnight, it was a rapid-fire escalation. In early 2025, the US started with a new 10% baseline tariff on imports. China, as expected, hit back. This kicked off a tit-for-tat cycle that quickly went off the rails. By April, the situation had exploded. The US announced it was cranking up tariffs on Chinese goods to staggering levels, which peaked in May at an average of about 127%. China immediately responded, raising its own tariffs on American goods to over 32%. For a moment, it felt like a full trade embargo was right around the corner. The fallout was instant. Stock markets plunged, and businesses, unable to plan more than a few weeks ahead, slammed the brakes on investment and hiring. The sheer uncertainty was just as damaging as the tariffs themselves. Recognizing the immense economic pressure, the two sides finally agreed to a temporary 90-day truce in May 2025. That truce rolled the peak US tariffs back to a more stable, but still very high, rate. That truce has since been extended, but don't be mistaken, the underlying conflict is far from over. The average US tariff rate on goods from all countries has climbed to its highest point in nearly a century, and the economic pain is just getting started. The first place you're feeling this is at the grocery store. Even if you aren't buying a lot of made in China produce, the impact is unavoidable and often indirect. First, some agricultural goods from China do face direct tariffs. Think garlic, tilapia, shrimp, and certain fruits and vegetables. Those prices are going to climb directly. But the bigger hit is to the entire food production system. Tariffs on steel and aluminum make tractors, farming equipment, and processing machinery more expensive to buy and fix. The cost of packaging, from plastic containers to metal cans, goes up. Even food from other countries gets more expensive. If a tariff makes Chinese garlic pricier, more people will buy Californian garlic, driving up demand and, you guessed it, the price. This isn't a theory. The Yale Budget Lab, a non-partisan research group, estimates that these tariffs will cost the average American household about $2,400 in lost purchasing power this year alone. It's a silent drain on your budget, happening every time you go to the checkout. Alright, let's talk about the tech we use every day, our phones, laptops, TVs, and headphones. This is where the trade war gets very personal, because the global electronics supply chain runs straight through China. Even for products that say, assembled in the USA, most of the components, the tiny processors, memory chips, batteries, and screens, are made in China. Every single one of those components is now subject to these tariffs, which drives up the total cost of production. Companies like Apple, Dell, and HP have no choice but to factor these new costs into their prices. Economists have projected that electronics could see significant price hikes because of these new duties. That means a $1,000 laptop could suddenly cost you hundreds more. An $800 phone could jump in price as well. These aren't small changes. They fundamentally change how affordable modern tech is for millions of people. And China isn't just fighting back with tariffs. It has also begun to restrict the export of certain heavy rare earth elements. These materials are absolutely critical for making high-tech electronics and military gear. By controlling the supply of these essential ingredients, China has another powerful lever to pull, one that can disrupt US manufacturing in a way that goes far beyond just prices. A new car is one of the biggest purchases anyone makes, and this trade war is making it a much more expensive one. You might not think of your Ford or Chevy as a Chinese product, but the modern auto supply chain is a global puzzle, and a ton of its pieces come from China. Hundreds of parts in the average car, from the fancy infotainment system and electronic sensors to basic things like bolts, brackets, and engine parts, are sourced from China. The US has imposed steep tariffs not just on finished cars but on auto parts, too. Analysts have warned that these duties could raise the price of a new car by thousands of dollars. This hits you even if you aren't buying a new car. The cost of replacement parts for repairs is also climbing. That means your next trip to the mechanic could come with a much bigger bill. The US recently hiked tariffs on derivative steel and aluminum products to 50%, a list that includes things like automotive exhaust systems and other critical car parts. So whether you're buying new or just trying to keep your current car on the road, these tariffs are an expensive new reality you can't avoid. This isn't just about making things more expensive in the short term. It's forcing a massive shift in the global economy. And while the US is focused on tariffs, China is making strategic moves to secure its future. Frustrated with the trade war, China is speeding up its efforts to become less dependent on the United States. It's strengthening trade relationships with other major economic powers, especially its neighbors. High-level talks have been reinvigorated to push for a trilateral free trade agreement between China, South Korea, and Japan. An agreement like that would create a powerful Asian trading bloc, capable of redirecting supply chains and investment away from the US. This is the bigger picture that gets lost in the headlines about percentages. The immediate pain is in our wallets, but the long-term risk is a world where the US is more economically isolated, while new centers of power grow stronger. By using trade as a weapon, the US might just be pushing the rest of the world to build a new system that doesn't need it. So, let's bring it all back home. The chaos of this year's tariff battle and the reality of the highest average duties in nearly a century aren't some abstract economic policies. They're a direct tax on your life. It's why your grocery bill feels higher, why your next phone will cost more, and why buying or fixing a car is becoming a bigger financial burden. This is all the result of policy, and the cost, an estimated loss of over $2,000 per household, is being paid by you. The economic landscape has been shaken up, and being informed is the best way to prepare for whatever comes next. If you found this breakdown helpful and want to stay ahead of the economic forces hitting your money, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Now I want to hear from you. What price hikes are you already seeing out there? Let everyone know in the comments below. Let's get a conversation going.